Imagine having the most powerful engine, maybe for like a starship.
Hmm.
It hums with this incredible potential.
Yeah.
But what if the controls are hidden, deep in some complex engine room, totally unusable by anyone but the engineers?
Yeah. Kind of hard to fly that way, right? You need a bridge, you need a dashboard, something intuitive, a place to actually steer the thing.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking a fascinating guide. It's called How to Build a Custom UI for an n8n Workflow.
Hmm.
Our mission really is to explore how you can put a beautiful, intuitive front end on these powerful backend automations, and all without writing a single line of code.
Yeah, we're going to dive into why those powerful back-end systems, kind of on their own, they often hit a wall. We'll talk about why adding a custom interface is like a total game changer. And then we'll break down the surprisingly simple three-part architecture that makes it all possible. It's pretty neat.
We'll then dig into the core red light, green light pattern of n8n, how to plan your interface maybe with an AI architect.
Mm.
We'll look at setting up your development environment with an AI copilot, which was interesting, and then actually building both the n8n workflow and the custom UI itself.
Finally, we'll see how you make your interface truly dynamic, how to close that crucial interaction loop, and, get your whole project ready for the real world. This deep dive is really for anyone who wants to turn powerful automation tools into polished, user-friendly solutions that really impress people.
Okay, so let's start there, reflecting on this idea of back-end limitations. The source describes powerful automation engines like n8n as this incredible, sometimes complex web of nodes and connections.
Right.
For the builder, it's maybe pure genius, but if you're not the one who built it, it can feel like, utter chaos.
Yeah, it's just the engine, like you said, not the full car, or the engine room of a starship. Definitely not the bridge.
Exactly. And the core issue here, the guy points this out, it's user experience, isn't it?
Totally. These systems, super powerful, sure, but they're just not designed for the everyday user. They're hard for non-technical clients to just pick up and use. I mean, think about trying to explain a multi-step process by saying, okay, just click this webhook link, then remember to send data to that other link later. It doesn't work.
Right. And there's no sense of a polished, branded application either, is there? It's just raw functionality. Feels kind of naked.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got all this incredible power humming away, but no simple, elegant way for someone to actually interact with it. It's a closed box, really.
So what's the core problem with powerful back-end automations on their own?
They lack user-friendliness, interactivity, and that polished appearance.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting then. Adding a custom UI is described in the guide as a fundamental upgrade.
Yeah. It's like unlocking a whole new tier of capabilities.
Yeah.
You move from just, back-end wizardry to actually delivering a beautiful, intuitive, and professional-looking dashboard.
Hmm?
And it's not just about looking pretty.
No, not at all. It fundamentally transforms what you can actually offer. Instead of handing a client some raw webhook URL, you can give them a polished, branded web portal. Imagine like a customer claims portal where they can easily upload photos of damage.
Oh, yeah. Or an internal marketing tool where a team member just clicks a button, like one button, to launch an entire campaign. Simple.
Or client onboarding forms where users can make choices, upload files, get real-time feedback. It creates genuinely interactive experiences.
They're no longer just sending data into the void, They're actually engaging with your automation. It feels alive.
It sounds like it just massively expands your service offerings. You're not just selling automation anymore.
Right. You're selling complete end-to-end business solutions, stuff that can actually compete with expensive, custom-built software. You move up the value chain.
How does a custom front end transform your service offerings?
It enables professional, interactive, end-to-end solutions for diverse users.
Okay, the source simplifies the whole system with this great analogy you mentioned, the well-run restaurant.
Yeah, I like that one.
It breaks down the architecture into three core components. It really paints a clear picture, I thought.
It really does. Okay, so first up, you have the n8n workflow itself. That's the kitchen, the back end, right? Heart of the operation. That's where your AI agents are thinking, your data is being processed, all your logic is executing. It's where the real work happens, kind of hidden from view.
Okay, then there's the custom interface. That's the dining room.
Exactly. The beautiful customer-facing part. It's what the user actually sees and interacts with. Built with simple stuff, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. They come here to place their orders, and see their food, the results of the workflow.
And finally, bridging those two, You have the connection layer. The guide calls it the waiter.
The waiter, yeah. That's the communication system. It's basically a series of webhooks and wait nodes that handle that seamless two-way conversation between the kitchen and the dining room. Keeps everything flowing.
It just makes sense, doesn't it? The analogy simplifies something that could feel pretty overwhelming otherwise. Can you simplify the three core parts of this architectural system?
It's the back end, the front end, and the communication between them.
All right, let's dive deeper into the engine room then, into n8n itself. The source talks about a core architectural pattern, like a game of red light, green light.
Yeah, the red light, green light pattern. It's this start, stop, listen, resume cycle, and it powers all these custom UI workflows. It's pretty elegant, actually.
It sounds like it. So the first part is the starting pistol, or green light. Your workflow kicks off with a webhook node.
Right.
This node is essentially your starting line. It just sits there listening for an incoming request, like someone knocking on the door.
And right after that, immediately a respond to webhook node springs into action.
And this is the key part, right? The resumeral.
Totally key. It instantly sends back this thing called a resumeral. Think of it like a secret private hotline number, or maybe a disposable cell phone number. It's unique to that user and that specific session. That's how the system knows who's talking to it later on, keeps conversations separate.
So it's like you're handed a special ticket number for your interaction. Beat. Then you enter the waiting game. Red light.
You have the light, yeah. This is where you place a wait node. This node literally tells the workflow, freeze, go to sleep, patiently wait. And it's listening on that specific resumeral for the user's next input.
The guide uses a choose-your-own-adventure book analogy here.
Yeah, I like that too. The workflow presents choices, the wait node pauses while the user makes a decision, like turning a page in the book. This whole wait process respond loop is super powerful because it lets you build really deep, complex decision trees, lots of interaction.
And then eventually you hit the finish line.
Right, the ending section. No more wait nodes here. This is where the workflow just completes its final non-interactive tasks. Things like sending confirmation emails, updating databases, sending that final all done success message.
What's the fundamental red light, green light idea in these workflows?
Workflows start, pause for user input, then resume to complete tasks.
Okay, planning. The source wisely states, the fastest way to fail is to start building without a blueprint. Makes sense.
Absolutely. Don't just jump in.
And it suggests using AI, specifically something like ChatGPT, as your personal UI UX architect. That sounds pretty futuristic, doesn't it?
It does, but it's practical now. The process is actually remarkably simple. You just describe what you want, in plain English. And the AI then churns out visual mock-ups and the technical specifications you need, like a blueprint generator.
The guide gives a real-world example prompt, like, I want to build an AI claims HTML page. Design it like Airbnb, left side for status, right side for interaction, first page, title new request button, and so on.
Yeah, it gets really specific, so you're getting this fully fleshed out blueprint before you even think about touching code or setting up nodes.
It's invaluable, I think, for just visualizing and structuring your thoughts first. Makes the abstract concrete fast. How does an AI architect help avoid building without a plan?
It generates visual and technical blueprints from plain language requests.
Now, for actually building from that blueprint, the guide recommends Replit. Calls it a powerful AI-assisted coding platform, handles development and hosting.
Yeah, they say you become Tony Stark talking to JRVIS. I kind of like that image. Makes it sound fun.
It certainly seems to streamline things. The 60-second launch sequence is basically go to Replit, click Create App, pick the Node.js template.
Right, and that Node.js choice is important, isn't it?
Crucial, yeah. It acts as that secure middleman. The source calls it the maitre d', which is a good analogy.
The maitre d'.
It manages communication between your front-end HTML, the dining room, and your back-end n8n workflow, the kitchen.
Yeah, it stops things from getting chaotic and insecure, prevents that direct browser to AS n8n access, and it solves that common web dev headache, so RSS defined as, well, a common web development headache.
Exactly. So it sets up that connection layer securely right from the start.
Yeah.
Then you prepare the blueprint for your AI copilot. Create a project.md file. This is your master plan for the AI.
Got it. The instruction manual.
Your phone conversation starts simple. Please read the project.md file. Then you issue build commands like, okay, please create the index.html file, and you can paste in your mockups and descriptions.
And the AI just writes the code in the publish index.html file.
Yep. And as it works, Replit automatically prompts you if you need dependencies like the Express framework or the Path library. You just click to install them. Super easy.
Whoa. Okay, just pause for a second. Imagine scaling this AI-assisted development approach, designing entire interconnected systems, not just one interface. The speed is, well, it's incredible.
It really is transformative. The potential there is huge. What's Replit's role in speeding up the development setup?
It's an AI-assisted platform providing the environment, coding help, and hosting.
Okay, with the environment set up, it's time to build the engine room itself, the n8n workflow. The guide details setting up 3 critical components for these dynamic conversations, like the core parts of the engine.
The essential bits, yeah. You need these 3. First, the front door. That's your initial webhook node.
Right. Set the HTTP method to post, because the browser's sending data to it.
Yeah.
Then you copy its test URL. That's the entry point for your application.
Got it. Second, the secret handshake. Configuring that ResMURL response, you add a respond to webhook node right after that first webhook. This is the one that sends back execution.resMURL. That unique session-specific disposable phone number we talked about keeps things straight.
Exactly. That's how each user's conversation stays distinct.
DUAs.
And third, the pause buttons. These are your wait nodes.
Right. You stick these wherever you need user input. Configure them to ResMon, webhook call, and also use post.
And there's a pro-level upgrade mentioned.
Yeah.
The timeout, fail-safe on wait nodes.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. You can set it to, say, an hour. If the user just wanders off and there's no interaction, a special timeout branch activates. It can do cleanup, like closing the session, marking it abandoned, stops nodes getting stuck forever, wasting resources. Essential for any live system.
What are the 3 essential n8n nodes for setting up an interactive workflow?
The webhook, respond to webhook, and the wait nodes.
All right, building the custom UI now. The beautiful dining room, as the guide calls it. This part seems to transform from traditional coding into more of a simple conversation with Replit's AI assistant.
Yeah, you become the architect and the director. You're guiding the AI. So how does that build process actually work? Especially with tricky stuff like file uploads. That sounds complicated.
It's surprisingly conversational. After the AI generates the initial index.html, you just use plain English commands like, okay, can you now design the second section, the one for file upload? I've uploaded an image for reference.
And the AI generates the code, you check it. Okay, what about the file upload mechanics? That feels like a lot of moving parts.
It is, but the guide describes it as a perfectly coordinated handoff between the front end of your backend server, the Node.js part, and n8n.
Okay.
So the AI builds that drag and drop or click to upload thing in your index.html. Then it updates your index.js server file to securely catch what's called multi-part form data. That's just the raw file data, and it forwards that to the correct ResMURL for your n8n workflow.
Ah, okay. So index.js acts like the receiving dock and dispatcher.
Exactly. And then n8n's wait node receives that binary data, the file itself, ready for processing. It's like a high-tech pneumatic tube system sending the file straight to the kitchen.
Cool. And the AI can add a pre-flight check. What's that?
Yeah, it can add JavaScript right in the front end to validate files before they even get uploaded. Check if it's a PDF or JPEG only. Check if it's under, say, 10OB.
Ah, smart. Prevents wrong uploads, saves workflow resources on the n8n side. Good idea.
There's also a pro-level upgrade mentioned, the component-based build.
Right. Instead of one giant prompt for the whole page, you break it down. Ask the AI to create reusable pieces, like create a self-contained file upload component. Put it in file at upload.html.
Yeah.
Leads to cleaner, more modular code, easier to maintain later on. Definitely the way to go for bigger projects.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. Making sure the AI truly understands the nuance of modular design versus just, adding another section. It's a continuous conversation, getting that right.
Oh, totally. It's a skill, interacting with the AI effectively. It takes practice.
How does the AI streamline the complex process of building the front end, especially file uploads?
It generates code conversationally and manages the secure file handoffs automatically.
Okay, this next step sounds really crucial for making the application feel alive, the smart response. Having n8n send structured JSON back to the browser, telling it what to do next.
Yeah, this is where it gets really dynamic and intelligent. So how does this work? How does it make the interface dynamic?
It's the feedback loop that brings the UI to life. So picture this. User uploads a PDF invoice. In n8n, maybe an analyze image node with OCR, that's optical character recognition, just extracts text from images, grabs the text.
Okay.
Then an AI agent node that's basically a program using AI for tasks, summarizes the text. Maybe identify specific products mentioned in the invoice.
Right. Pulls out the key info.
Then maybe a code node formats all this into a neat, clean JSON response, like a little data package.
And then another respond to webhook node sends this processed data back.
Exactly, back to your index.js server, which passes to the front-end JavaScript. And when the front-end gets this JSON, it immediately reacts.
How? What does it do?
Well, it could display the summary instantly. It could dynamically create clickable buttons for those products the AI found. And critically, it saves the new resume that n8n sent back for the next interaction step.
Ah, okay. So the user sees a completely updated interface, new choices, new info, all based on what the backend just figured out. The UI isn't static anymore.
Precisely. It adapts directly, becomes an intelligent dashboard. How does the UI become dynamic and intelligent after a user interacts?
It updates based on structured JSON responses sent from the backend workflow.
Okay, this brings us to closing the loop. The guide describes this as the complete end-to-end conversation turn. This is the engine of your interactive application.
Right, the full cycle.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through how a multi-step conversation flows with these loops, using that invoice approval example again?
Sure. Let's track a 3-loop journey. First, loop 1, the upload. User submits their PDF invoice. The front end sends it to the first wait node in n8n.
n8n does its thing, analyzes, extracts products.
Right. Then it sends back that JSON response we just talked about.
Yeah.
The front end uses that to display the summary and maybe buttons for each product found. And crucially, n8n pauses at a second wait node, waiting for the user's next move.
Okay, waiting for the user to select which products to approve, maybe?
Exactly. That leads to loop 2, the selection. The user clicks those product buttons, maybe hits a confirm button. The front end sends this selection data back to that second wait node.
n8n gets it, processes the selection, maybe logs it somewhere.
Yep. And responds perhaps with just a simple confirmation message in JSON. The front end updates again, shows that message, maybe shows a final submit approval button, and now n8n pauses at a third wait node.
Okay, one more loop to go.
Loop 3, the final confirmation. The user clicks that final submit button. The front end sends that signal to the third wait node.
And this time, n8n enters its ending section. No more waiting.
Right. It performs its final tasks, maybe emails the accounting department, updates a database, generates a final PDF record, then it sends one last success message back. The front end displays approved or whatever, and the whole workflow is complete.
That makes sense. It's a clear, structured conversation. Beat. What about that human in the loop upgrade? That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's a neat touch for robustness. Imagine the AI struggles, maybe the invoice is weirdly formatted and it can't confidently extract the products.
Okay.
Instead of just failing, AAN could send back a specific JSON response, like state needs human review.
Ah, and the front end sees that state.
And instead of showing product buttons, it maybe displays a message like AI needs help and shows a request manual review button. Clicking that could trigger a different n8n path, maybe notifying a human team member, seamlessly brings a person into the loop when needed.
That's a really robust design, handles exceptions gracefully, builds trust, very smart.
Can you walk us through how a multi-step conversation flows with these loops?
Users interact, the workflow processes, and the UI continuously updates in cycles.
Right, so you've built your amazing interactive application, humming along nicely on your machine. But now, how do you take it from a cool demo to a robust, professional, and secure solution? This is the pro-level playbook section.
Yeah, the really important part for making it real. Step 7 is going live, deploying your application. Platforms like Replit apparently make this easy, like just a deploy button gives you a public URL.
Okay, but for production, there are more considerations.
Oh, yeah. Definitely want a custom domain, make it look professional. Security is huge. You absolutely need to add things like authentication headers or secret keys to your n8n webhooks so not just anyone can trigger them.
Right. Protect the kitchen door.
Exactly. And if it's an app users log into, you'll need a proper user management system. The guide mentions integrating something like Supabase, maybe, for user accounts, storing user-specific data securely.
And crucially, you need to switch your n8n workflow itself from test mode to production mode.
Why is that important?
Well, production mode is built for reliability. It handles executions differently. And importantly, it saves execution data so you can monitor and debug if things go wrong later. Test mode often doesn't keep that history.
Gotcha. Okay, and what about Fort Knox security? Best practices.
Always use HTTPS. That just means secure encrypted communication.
Yeah.
Essential. Validate all incoming inputs rigorously. Don't trust anything from the outside. Implement rate limiting to stop people hammering your workflow.
And proper user authentication for any sensitive data is an absolute must. Don't skip that.
Beyond security, what about leveling up, adding advanced features?
Sky's the limit, really. Enhance the user experience with things like real-time progress bars or maybe file previews right in the interface. Add more powerful business logic and n8n conditional workflows, deeper database integration, maybe generating custom PDFs on the fly.
Or deeper integration with other systems?
Totally. Connect it to your CRM system, that's software for managing customer relationships. Or connect to payment processors, or really any other third-party APIs. Those are interfaces letting different software talk to each other. Build a truly connected solution.
It sounds like a clear path to making it robust and scalable. But inevitably, things sometimes break. Any quick troubleshooting tips mentioned?
Yeah, the guide offers a troubleshooter's guide. If file uploads are failing, double-check that multi-part form configuration and make sure n8n is actually expecting binary data.
Okay.
If the webhook connection itself is failing, triple-check your URLs. The HTTP methods, remember, they should usually be post for sending data. And obvious but easy to forget, make sure your n8n workflow is actually active and listening.
Right. Check if the kitchen's open.
Exactly. And if you're getting errors handling the responses back from n8n, check that n8n is sending correctly formatted JSON and that your front-end JavaScript is parsing it correctly. Usually a typo or syntax error somewhere.
What are the crucial steps to take an interactive app from a demo to a live, secure solution?
Deployment, strong security, user management, and considering advanced features are key.
So let's pull back. What does all this mean? The big takeaway from this deep dive for me is how you can fundamentally level up your capabilities. You're not just a backend automator anymore, just building scripts for yourself or internal teams.
No, you really become a true full-stack solutions architect. That sounds fancy, but it means you're capable of building professional, custom-grade applications, even without being a traditional programmer. It's a massive shift in what's possible for, builders and automators.
The real magic, the core principle here that unlocks it all, seems to be mastering that webhook wait respond cycle.
What's the engine?
Yeah, that core conversation between your powerful backend engine and your beautiful new interface.
It's all about creating those professional client portals, those powerful internal tools that truly amaze people and actually streamline processes in a user-friendly way.
This deep dive really highlights how custom interfaces can transform any backend automation into something genuinely powerful and accessible. Ultimately, it's all about building a better, more human user experience, isn't it?
Yeah, think about the processes you deal with every day, the clunky ones. Where could a simple, intuitive front end make a really complex workflow feel like a breeze? There are probably loads of opportunities.
Exactly. And it raises, I think, an important question for us to consider. In a world that's leaning more and more into automation, how much value does that human-friendly interface actually add, even to the most complex AI-driven systems?
2 sec silence.
A tremendous amount, I think. It's the difference between something that just works technically and something that people actually understand, trust, and maybe even enjoy using. It's huge.
We hope this deep dive into building custom UIs for n8n has given you some fresh perspectives, maybe some new ideas for what's possible with the tools you might already be using. Join us next time on the deep dive for another exploration into making complex information, well, a little less complex. Outro music.